Okay, so we hear from a former D tackle on just how much Fangio helps the defensive line. Meanwhile, the Eagles keep getting linked to this draft prospect. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? We also go over this proposed trade, Bryce Huff to the Lions. So much to break down, including this possible free agent D tackle signing and how Devontae Smith agreed with AJ Brown about the Super Bowl, and AJ Brown responds. But first, check out the evolution of Jalen Hurts. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So we are officially 30 days from the 2025 NFL Draft, and there's a couple ways the Eagles could go with the 32nd pick. In the upcoming days, you're going to see multiple mock drafts. Eagles trade up, Eagles stay put, Eagles trade back, especially with a GM like Howie Roseman. Anything can happen. And we do have a couple different positions that we can look at, especially in this draft where certain positions are deeper than others. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks. As I said before, we are going to talk about every single player the Eagles bring in on a top 30 visit. Also, guys, I think would be good fits in Philadelphia with the picks we have. But lastly, I want to know some of y'all top options. Let me know in the comment section, because if I don't know their game, I'm definitely going to do some research. Anthony DeBona tweets, Eagle Scouts should be busy today with quite a few notable pro days happening. Boston College edge Donovan Ezaraku, Bowling Green tight end Harold Fannin Jr., Iowa safety Sebastian Castro, Marshall's edge Mike Green, Miami tight end Elijah Arroyo, and Toledo's D tackle Darius Alexander. As for a player I see being selected by the Eagles in multiple mock drafts, including Daniel Jeremiah's number 4 for Texas A&M edge rusher Shemar Stewart. When you watch the tape, he looks to be a better run stopper than a pass rusher. He's physical. He has this freakish athleticism, but the production hasn't been there. Again, high motor. The kid doesn't give up, and he's being mocked to the Eagles. I don't know if I like it, especially the inability to finish sacks. Again, he wins his one-on-one matchups, but he can't finish. Now, I like our D-line coach, ability to coach him up, especially with Fangio as the DC. But to me, he's more of a boom or bust player. Again, I got to do a little bit more research, but Fran Duffy had some interesting things to say as it pertains to Shemar Stewart. His lack of production is not just a pass game issue. Just 21 career stops on 575 run defense snaps equals a run stop rate of 3.7. That would rank 203rd out of the 204 charted edges drafted in the last decade, which is not good at all. Again, the knock on Stewart is his inability to finish via the pass rush. Has all the tools, has all the athleticism, but he can't finish. Nobody talks about the lack of run stopping, so Fran Duffy had to point it out. Defensive players better. Listen to D tackle Seth Payne talk about Fangio.
Vic Fangio probably made me an extra few $1,000,000 because he just completely transformed me as a player.
In what way?
His scheme, he gives the defensive linemen so much freedom. If he gives you these options, if you can handle it, to slant to your responsibility, stem all the time. He kind of gives you a rule book for when you can play more aggressively and when you need to be more of a two-gapper or a gap responsibility guy based on the coverages you play behind you. And it's stuff that I'd never been exposed or was even aware that it was possible as a defensive lineman. So, like, I'm always a guy that was always trying to really play my responsibilities and everything, and I probably wasn't as aggressive as I should have been. Vic's scheme gives you that license to be like, okay, no, on this play, you're just based on this formation with this coverage behind you, you're just going to hit it. And so it's cool to watch Jalen Carter, I think, do some of those things in Vic's scheme because it allows you to be a conscientious player, but also an aggressive player at the same time. So it kind of mixes and matches elements of the old school 3-4, but with just an aggressive 4-3 defense.
I can't wait to see year 3 of All-Pro Jalen Carter, but year 2 in Fangio's system. Let's look at Jalen Carter compared to other D tackles. Carter is first in forced fumbles, batted passes, and tackles for loss. Second in hits and hurries, and has a near 13% win rate and over 10% pressure rate. And you don't need stats if you just watch him to see how absolutely dominant he is and how much better he makes the line around him. To have a pass rush win rate like that when you get doubled 70% of the time. The only person tied with the most doubles is Chris Jones at the D tackle position. Again, there's a reason he's all pro, and there's a reason he's going to get paid big time. Contract prices go up with the salary cap, which has been increasing around 8 to 9% a year. But when you look at the D tackle contracts, they've risen even faster as the league's new premium position, averaging 12.5% per year over the past decade and 24% since coming out of COVID. The D tackle position is just rising crazily. We need to get Jalen Carter's deal done as soon as possible. We physically can't do it this offseason. The earliest we can do it is next offseason, and I promise Howie's going to get it done. As for some more depth at the D tackle position, yes, we got the NFL draft, which is deep at D tackle, but we could look at a cheaper veteran option. The Eagles could get Calais Campbell, a legendary figure over the course of his long career, cheap. He played last season for $2 million. He wants to get another Super Bowl before he retires, and the Eagles could give him that opportunity. Just last year, he had 52 total tackles and 5 sacks. I know, he's 39 years old, but he doesn't play that way. For $2 million, I would take him to be a veteran and D tackle 4. Because y'all know how high I am on Mara Ajomo, the former 7th round pick who showed out in his 388 snaps. He led the Philadelphia Eagles in pressure rate. This is no small task when the D-line is as talented as the Eagles were. Yes, I know all the double teams go to Jalen Carter, but that will continue to happen. Ajomo is a real gem and nobody talks about simply because he's a 7th round pick. Howie Roseman found another stud. As for Calais Campbell, he's D tackle 4. And if we draft somebody in the middle round, then he could be D tackle 5 or just get cut, especially if he's only signing for 1.5 or 2 million. You could cut a guy like that and it won't matter. But by signing him now, it doesn't make you reach for a D tackle in this draft. Only get one if it falls in your lap. Moving on to this proposed trade by Bleacher Report. The Lions will receive defensive end Bryce Huff, and the Eagles will receive a 2025 4th-round pick and a 2025 7th-round pick. Now, you may be thinking, why would anybody want Bryce Huff? I'm going to keep saying this until he's either traded or stays with the Eagles. There are people who looked at what he did on the Jets and still think he could do that for a team if their system is more similar to New York. Plus, factor in the injuries he had. There's still an upside to Bryce Huff, even though to Eagle fans, we don't care. All the injuries the Lions had last year, they could use some depth at positions in case injuries happen again, and I'd be all for a 4th and a 7th. Heck, they could keep the 7th. Just give us a 4th-round pick, and I think Howie Roseman recovered from that signing. Lastly, let's talk about Devontae Smith agreeing with A.J. Brown about the Super Bowl being
I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of agree with him
Okay.
because, like, for me, you know, I done played at the biggest game on every stage, and when I think for me the Super Bowl, it felt like that just because I was at home, and like it was just the emotion of me being home. But like once we won, it was just kind of like,
Really?
Yeah, like
let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's get back
do
to
it
it.
again.
Like I think if the Super Bowl was anywhere else, I wouldn't have like been emotional, and it wouldn't have seemed like it was so much for me.
Well,
I think
let's
it
think
was
about
just
it,
because
right?
I was at home.
You back home, you know what I mean? You've played.
Now, I would
you
say
think it wrong, motherfucker. Like you gotta, it's back to work.
When he was saying about the DB putting his head down and stuff like that, you get a rush from something like that.
Yeah.
Like when you out there just cooking a dude and like you can
got his
tell
soul,
you can tell
is
when
what
he
I'm
defeated
saying.
and he just
Yeah.
don't want no more. Like you get a rush from something like that, and it's just like there is no feeling better than that in the game of football than
What-
when you know you dominating the person.
Just how I wasn't mad when AJ said it, I'm definitely not mad when Devontae says it. But some people were mad when AJ said it, and this is why AJ retweeted this. Eagle Al posted the clip on Twitter from 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. A random Eagle fan quote tweeted it by saying, "But when AJ says it, he's a diva, laughing my butt off." AJ Brown reposted it, then eventually deleted it. But AJ's right. He always gets the short end of the stick with some fans, a lot of media members, but it is what it is. A.J. Brown is a special player. He is literally one of 2 wide receivers with 80-plus yards per game, 7-plus touchdowns on 70 or fewer receptions in 2024. If the dude played all season, his numbers would have been higher, and if he got a couple more targets, he would make the most of it. He's in the same category as Chase and Jefferson, but he's not a diva. You've seen the growth of him understanding that the run game is important and taking what the offense gives him. When he called out the passing game in general, not just Jalen, everything was bad. And the Eagles got it corrected and used it to their benefit to win the Super Bowl. Now, granted, we saw A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith happy celebrating the Super Bowl. So when they say, I think they're talking about days or weeks later because they're just excited and ready to get back to work. They're still young players in their prime. 1 Super Bowl's cool, but 2 or 3 make your legacy even better. Brady always says, "What's your favorite Super Bowl?" The next one. And again, we saw them in their bag when they won. A couple weeks later, it's time to get to work. I bet you Jalen Hurts feels the same, and this is why this team is built for the future, but also the here and now. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Do your boy a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes or when we go live. Muscle up, leave a comment. I absolutely love hearing from you. And tomorrow, we're going to talk a little bit more about Justin Simmons as it pertains to when did he get signed last year after the draft. So we got some time to still make a decision on him and why it would be a good decision or a bad decision. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.